Reciban un fraternal y cálido saludo de parte de las directivas del Festival Internacional de Poesía de Medellín. Bienvenidos todos y todas los que nos encontramos presentes en este cerro, en este teatro Carlos Vieco.
Este es el año en que, siendo conscientes de la acumulación de barbarie de la historia humana, sabemos con más certeza que nunca que, a pesar de la barbarie, de las conquistas, de las guerras de invasión y sometimiento, los cantos de los pueblos primitivos, los cantos sagrados, mantuvieron viva la llama de la esperanza, de la resistencia, de la victoria de la vida sobre la muerte. Las ideas, los pensamientos nos han separado y nos han enfrentado en muchas guerras. El corazón es el que puede fusionar a los pueblos de la tierra en lucha por la paz mundial, por una nueva humanidad fraterna, solidaria, justa, en la plenitud de la verdad y de la belleza. Y esperamos escalar esta semana de poesía de la mejor manera, de la manera más bella, y volver a nutrirnos de esa gran fuerza poderosa del espíritu humano representada en los poetas aquí presentes. Muchas gracias, un abrazo muy amoroso para todos.
मैं वो हर एक सिमत से तीरगी में घिरा हुआ नमे जिंदगी, कफ़े आफताब के साए में जिसे रोशनी की तलाश है, ये हवाए हस्त का झोंपड़ा के बना है पेड़ की छाँव में, कहीं दूर पार के गांव की किसी झील पर कोई बादे बूदो नबूद, पसली को एड़ मुंह की थपेड़ है, ये जो कायनात में बैज़ाए गमे ज़ात है, ये जो हुस्ने वहमे सबात है, कहीं खामोशी में उगी हुई ये जो बेदलील सी बात है, जो नहीं नहीं जो कहीं नहीं.
هموم أدبية. ما هي الطريقة الأقل ألماً؟ ما هي الكلمات الأقل مرارة؟ ما هو الوقت الأقل هشاشة؟ ما هو المكان الأقل وحشة؟ ما هي البداية الأقل ارتباكاً؟ ما هي النهاية الأقل سماجة؟ ما هو التعبير الأقل حدة؟ ما هو السؤال الأقل بلاهة؟ ما هو الجواب الأقل كذباً؟ ما هو الوداع الأقل دمعاً؟ ما هو الصمت الأخف والذهاب الأقل ذهاباً لننهي به هذه الحماقة؟
The whole museology of a country, iron, metal, incalculable losses, national suicide, 20 decades of indigenous Brazilian etymology, water trucks like high solar winds empty quickly, flames lick around the window frames, coffins start to crack their sides and centers from the heat. Ancient Egyptian mummies giggle up through the glass display cases. How the rising Fahrenheit tickles, curls its tongue under teeth. Marble busts and fossil skeletons look out, lit up by neon orange. Riots spill, barricades, sweat, tears, and academic war cries, with backs turned on their country as if the crowd inside was trapped inside 200 years. Archival showcase, 20 million pieces wielded down to silt and char. How many faces will it take to see hope emerge from the fire, not fear, the fabric of all double helix? If you burn the past, you torch the future. And the future looked down from the favela, kicking its thin, scuffed legs over rooftops. A bold bonfire on the 2nd day of September, just days before Hurricane Isaac set off on its concord across the Caribbean, gutted towards South America, with its innards soaked in the diamonds of a tropical storm. Feather headdresses, they went up in breath, left no trace of their material at all, the museum self-harming just after closing time. It had been one of those days. Tourists always touching too much, the light too bright, the magic unsummoned. Fractals engulfed, save the relics as sunrise and sunset meet for the first time, love the hurt away. The burning has stopped in Babylon and started in Brazil. Reconstruct from ash, said the Andean mummies from beyond the grave. Plumes of smoke, thick with pain. The fire invents a new kind of fire, mucus. The only thing intact amongst the rubble was that metallic warrior rock. Everything else burnt to bone, debris and disappearance, apart from dog-tooth claw kernel of the galaxy, racing knuckles against flames. If it survived its passage across the atmosphere, a course of common fire won't kill. There is a fire inferno in Rio tonight. Volcanoes sleep, and you are out there, as infallible and as radiant as that meteorite, unblinkingly staring into outer and inner space, as the hearts of those encircled burn in the background.
The boatman. We were 31 souls, he said, in the gray sick of sea, in a cold rubber boat, rising and falling in our filth. By morning, this didn't matter. No land was in sight. All were soaked to the bone, living and dead. We could still float, we said, from war to war. What lay behind us but ruins of stone, piled on ruins of stone? City called Mother of the Poor, surrounded by fields of cotton and millet. City of jewelers and cloak makers, with the oldest church in Christendom and the sword of Allah. If anyone remains there now, he assures they would be utterly alone. There is a hotel named for it in Rome, 200 meters from the Piazza di Spagna, where you can have breakfast under the portraits of film stars. There, the staff cannot do enough for you. But I am talking nonsense again. As I have since that night, we fetched a child, not ours, from the sea, drifting face down in a life vest, its eyes taken by fish or the birds above us. After that, Aleppo went up in smoke, and Raqqa came under a rain of leaflets warning everyone to go. Leave, yes, but go where? We lived through the Americans and Russians, through Americans again, many nights of death from the clouds, mornings surprised to be waking from the sleep of death, still unburied and alive, with no safe place. Leave, yes, we'll obey the leaflets, but go where? To the sea to be eaten, to the shores of Europe to be caged, to Camp Misery and Camp Remain Here. I ask you then, where? You tell me you are a poet. If so, our destination is the same. I find myself now the boatman, driving a taxi at the end of the world. I will see that you arrive safely, my friend. I will get you there. Okay.
عازفة بين يديها يقطر ضوء من أوتار كمان، وعلى كتفيها يتدلى شال الأشكال، قلادتها قمر شمسي يتدلى بين حرير الأسطورة. عازفة في الساحة تطلق أرواح الأشجار وتغمس ظلاً في المعنى. عازفة وكمان وسماء تجلس قدام الليلة تنظر صوب نجوم تتمايل في حجر يصغي للموسيقى. عازفة ظلت مغمضة أثناء العزف، ولما فتحت عينيها كانت ساحتها تكتظ بأقمار وطيور زرقاء.
My poems are painful, but they are not poetry at all. Rather a cry for help, a plea for action, a statement of torment that seeks retribution, a reminder that no one wants to remember, or a state of emergency that seeks intervention. They do not dress the situation in rose-colored lenses or invoke the spirit of brotherly provocation. They are not poetry until they lose my sense of desperation for a verse of sweet incantations. They ask those pertinent questions we ignore, hoping to dissipate into nothing. This poem asks you, where are you going? We are going nowhere fast and dragging the future into this abyss. The ground bleeds with the tears of the voiceless as the sun shines on the growing rage within. Listen to the whispers in the wind. Feel the ground slowly imploding. Where are we going? Why are we taking this direction? But if you have the answers, please inform the children, because this route leads straight into their future. Because we have lost our moral compass, slowly heading into destruction with no direction.
Por ti seré un espejo, el mejor amigo viejo. Seré esa distancia imposible de salvar. Seré una travesura, una leve quemadura, el amor escurrido, mi mirada virtual. Seré esa bebida que en el vaso se olvida. Seré lo relativo de tu risa al motivo. Por ti seré un espejo.